the hidden cost of waiting for a 2026 Toronto housing market correction. Marcus Chen had been watching the Toronto housing market for nearly 3 years, convinced patience would reward him with the dream home he deserved. As a software engineer with stable income and decent savings, he could have bought in 2023, but every headline about a coming correction kept him planted in his Liberty Village rental. Prices have to come down more, he would tell his wife Priya. Why buy now when everyone says the bottom hasn't hit yet? By spring 2026, Priya had run out of patience. Their daughters were sharing a cramped bedroom, and she insisted they sit down with a seasoned real estate broker before another year evaporated. What Marcus expected was a sales pitch. What he got was an education that left him quiet for most of the drive home. Marcus, let me show you something most people on the sidelines never calculate, the broker began. You think waiting is free. It isn't. The market you've been holding out for is the one you're standing in right now. He pulled up a side-by-side of 2023 and 2026 buying conditions, and it stopped Marcus cold. In 2023, this same townhouse would have had 10 buyers fighting for it. You'd bid without an inspection, without a financing condition, and $50,000 to $100,000 above asking. If the bank appraised lower than your offer, that gap came out of your pocket on top of your down payment. You signed firm and prayed. The broker leaned forward. Today, none of that exists. You can walk through with an inspector. You can include a financing condition and back out if the bank says no. You can negotiate 5 to 7% below asking. That's instant equity the moment you sign. The multiple offer madness is gone. You're in the driver's seat for the first time in a decade. He laid out the hidden costs Marcus was racking up by sitting on the fence. Rates that had already bottomed at 2.25% and were forecast to drift higher through 2026, meaning every month of delay risked qualifying for less house, a pre-construction slowdown that would create a real supply crunch in 2027 and 2028, just as pent-up demand returned. Builders had paused projects, and that pipeline doesn't restart overnight. Here's what people get wrong about a downturn, the broker said. The market can't crash 50%. Sellers have mortgages. Banks won't let them sell below what they owe. And even in power of sale situations, banks don't dump properties in the garbage. The realistic floor is another 5 to 10% from here, worst case. Then came the line that finally clicked. If you buy prudently today, you've already absorbed that downturn before it happens. Negotiate 5 to 7% below market, and even if prices slide another 5%, you're even or ahead. You've built a cushion into the deal. The buyer who keeps holding out has no cushion. They have only hope. Marcus had assumed waiting was cautious. The broker reframed it bluntly. Waiting was the gamble. A buyer betting on a deeper crash was wagering against mortgage math, against limited supply, and against rising rates. 3 forces all pushing the same direction. A buyer who acted prudently today wasn't gambling at all. He was locking in protection while everyone else hoped for a discount that the market structure simply couldn't deliver. Lower rates also meant Marcus qualified for a larger mortgage than at the 2024 rate peak. Combined with negotiated prices, conditional offers, inspections, and appraisal protection through the financing clause, and he was being handed a buyer's market on a silver platter and didn't realize it. In 2023, properties listed tonight, sold tomorrow before you could drive over. Today, properties sit. You have time, you have leverage, you have conditions, you have lower rates, you have built-in equity from the discount. Every advantage you said you were holding out for is already here. Marcus thought about his daughters sharing that bedroom, about Priya postponing a career change, about the supply crunch coming in 2027, about the fact that he'd been so afraid of overpaying that he'd missed the cheapest, safest buying window in a decade. 6 weeks later, Marcus and Priya closed on a townhouse in Markham. They negotiated 6% below asking. They did a full inspection. They had a financing condition. They locked in a fixed rate before the next forecast hike. They put down 20%, which combined with their discount meant roughly 25% in built-in protection against any further dip. I spent 3 years afraid of buying at the wrong time, Marcus said later. I never realized I was already living the wrong time.
The standing still itself was the mistake. For GTA buyers still on the sidelines, Marcus's lesson is worth absorbing. The correction you've been holding out for is largely already priced in. The conditions you wished you had in 2023 are sitting in front of you right now. Every month you delay, the rate window narrows, and the supply crunch creeps closer. The smart move isn't waiting for the perfect moment, it's recognizing it when it arrives.